Good morning. Thank you all for being here. My name is Ellen Parker. I'm the Public Art Coordinator for the City of Richmond, and we are thrilled to be here today with our artist, Fire Chief, and Mayor Dwight Jones to kick this wonderful piece of art off and celebrate it. Special thank you to our two Public Art Commissioners that are here today, Susan Reed and Sarah Driggs. I'm not sure if there are any other members of the site team that are here. There was Mr. You in the back. Oh, yep. And that's Chief Taylor. Sorry, can't read your name tag from here, and I lost my notes. But anyway, I'm going to hand it over to Mayor Dwight Jones. And again, thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Ellen, and thank all of you for being here today. We're at Fire Station 17, and just a little tidbit, this is the first new fire station built since the annexation on this side of the river, and we're very proud of it. I think that we were able to dedicate this just a few years ago, in addition to the other fire stations that we've been able to renovate. We're here today because we believe that art is a very vital part of a great city, and today we're here to unveil, or it's already been uncovered, so I guess we're not going to unveil it, but to celebrate this new piece of sculpture here at Fire Station 17. As you know, any projects in the city over $250,000, 1% goes to the arts. This is a policy that was instituted before my mayorship, but it was a great policy, and we've been able to build that fund up to about $3.2 million, and I think that it's a wonderful thing. I think all of us can agree that a great city is a city that has great public art, and I think that we have I think that that shows the character of the city. It shows the innovative character and nature of the city. I remember as a youngster growing up in Philadelphia, a part of our routine on a weekly basis was to go to a particular part of the city, and we would have to drive down Benjamin Franklin Parkway. And there are sculpture gardens along Franklin Parkway. And I remember as vividly as if it was just yesterday the impact that had on me as a child. And I believe that these art pieces that we are unveiling here in the city of Richmond are going to be great landmarks for the young people of our city. We're excited about this piece, but we're also excited about unveiling the Maggie Walker statue later on this year. We're also excited about the new medallion at the Marsh Courthouse on South Side. And there are many, many more to come. We want to make sure that this continues, that we continue to have great art in the city of Richmond. Very happy to have met Ross today, the artist, the sculptor, who is going to tell us a little bit about his piece today. He's a product of VCU, and what a good thing to be able to take a product of VCU and be able to patronize him and use his art. So let's thank Ross for being here today and for his wonderful work. We want to thank the members of the Public Art Commission for their fine work, and let's continue to make sure that we continue to have great public art in the city of Richmond. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Ross Cottle. This sculpture is titled Estuary. I just want to start out, and I wanted to thank my wife, Joanna. She couldn't be here today. She's expecting, but I just wanted to thank her for all of her support throughout this project. For my parents being here today, thank you for helping me through all of my education and support throughout my career. I'd like to thank the mayor of the city of Richmond, and thank you for supporting all the programs that support the arts in this wonderful city. Really enjoyed my stay here when I was living in Richmond. I'd like to thank the Richmond Fire Chief and the fire department for hosting the sculpture and helping to support the project as well. I'd like to thank the Public Arts Commission of Richmond, in particular Ellen Parker, Susan Reed, Douglas Dunlop, and all the other members and contributors from the city that have helped to make this project possible. I'd also like to thank the Reynolds Gallery, and thank you to the late Beverly Reynolds. She pushed me along over the course of my career and has helped me to persist to accomplish this project, and I'll forever be grateful to her and all of her support that she presented to me throughout knowing her. I'd also like to thank Julia Monroe, Alice Livingston from the Reynolds Gallery for helping to support the project, and to Bollinger Atelier in Tempe, Arizona, who I worked with for some of the heavy fabrication. So once again, the piece is titled Estuary. I grew up in Merritt Island, Florida, down on the Indian River Lagoon, which is an estuary. In Wikipedia, estuary is a semi-enclosed coastal body of water which has a free connection to the open sea. So an estuary is a very diverse, dynamic ecosystem. It supports a wide variety of organisms and has a very delicate balance, and everything works together in order to maintain harmony within that ecosystem. I see this as a metaphor for how our community thrives most when diversity and harmony between its citizens coincide with the natural world around us. I want this piece to symbolize this, and the main rings on the sculpture can be seen as representing these coastal inlets, or as a topographical reference, or even on a microscopic scale, referencing a cell with its membranes and cellular organelles, all performing their functions to make sure the cell thrives and contributes to the whole body. Along the form are these seeds. You can see these smaller, they range from the size of like a blueberry to a cherry tomato. And these seeds represent the 104 founding members of the Richmond Fire Department. Each of these seeds was ground by hand from a solid rod of stainless steel. This symbolizes the individuality and uniqueness of each one of these firemen and their service, and it commemorates their sacrifice to the community of Richmond. I want this sculpture to act as a portal between the fire station and the community and the park here behind us, Canoe Run Park. So behind the sculpture, it's supported by a lot of angular stainless steel rods. These are symbolic of infrastructure and engineering that comes together in a city to support the nature around it and to support this natural organic form. I think it's important that we use our science and engineering in harmony with nature to ensure that we protect our most valuable resources. These rods were composed and sculpted in a way where they also maintain an organic feeling, and in that regard, they harmonize with the sculpture and create a composition that adds beauty to the organic element. So, the sculpture also is intended to invite personal reflection. The scale is there in order to invite a person or to imagine a person passing through the sculpture. This gives you a feeling of the sculpture becoming your halo or your aura. So in conclusion, I'm very happy to be honored with this opportunity to present the artwork to the citizens of Richmond. Thank you for hosting the project, and I hope it will bring enrichment to everyone's lives. Thank you.
Well, there's certainly not much I can say to add to that. I think we all understand that the art should speak for itself, and it should speak to us individually. And while artists and art lovers always cringe when the question is asked, but is it art? That question gets answered by each one of us on our own. I'd like to talk for a few minutes about the setting and why this is significant. We talk about value and what we consider important, and certainly public art is something we all recognize here today as being valuable to the community. Whether we connect with it or think it's art or not, it's still an important gesture of government to connect with the community. The same is true of the fire department, and much of what the artist said here, I could translate those metaphors into what the men and women assigned to this station and with the fire department do every day. We spend a third of our lives living in this neighborhood at the station we're assigned to, and we're here for 24 hours at a time. I was commenting earlier that frequently Many of these folks who are married and connected to families and raising families spend more time with each other than they do at home with their own families in any given week, month, or year. And that certainly was true for me, and my wife reminds me of that quite frequently. That for that third of our lives, she was a single parent raising 2 boys with me somewhere else when I needed to be at home. The notion of estuary, I think, is unique when we talk about value. Is this was a creek bed, and this was a ravine back in historical times, and this ravine separated that community from that community, and this space wasn't valued for what it was, so the city used it as a leaf dump. So underneath this cap of soil is about 30 feet and God knows how many years of disposed of leaves. And someone decided to change the value proposition, and instead of being a leaf dump, this could now become a public park to unite and connect the neighborhoods. And it's a very underutilized park because there were no facilities here. We saw that as an opportunity in looking for a place to relocate old Fire Station 17 from over on Bainbridge. We needed a place to put it that was a good place to locate it. And we worked with city administration, we worked with the community to convince them that the value proposition was worth it to them to give up a part of the park, especially the part closest to the busy street that was underutilized or unutilized, to become a fire station. And that's not an easy decision for a community to make, because parkland is like farmland. Once it becomes something else, it never goes back. But we've tried to connect the fire station to the park, to the community, because what we do every day in serving the community is create relationships. And so this art, to me, symbolizes that relationship, that window and doorway on the world, and to connect us to the park, which connects us to the river. Because while the mayor was speaking, I watched an osprey fly from the river directly overhead with a fish in its talons, and connecting us, infinitely to nature. So in closing, I want to thank everyone for being here, for members of the Art Commission, for the fire department, the folks here at the station. Thanks to the guys who did extra work to get the grounds ready and get the grass cut and get it looking as good as things can look in Richmond in July with no rain or too much rain. And I want to thank the police chief for being here as a partner in public safety. We're there for you and you guys, and our hearts go out to you in these troubling times for law enforcement. And my heart goes out to the firefighters and the EMTs who are out there on the street with law enforcement when things go sideways. So thanks for being here, one and all. And again, thank you for being here and being a part of this ceremony.